Hello everyone, this is Syed Tosif, and today we'll going to discuss about the remaining parts which we have not discussed in our last session. Okay, applet 2. So we'll quickly finish the applet 2, and then we will move for servlet programming, server side programming. So in this one we have already discussed about display methods, repainting, uh, status of window. Now the two remaining parts are HTML applet tag as well as the other functionality of applet and interfaces. These two we have to discuss now, and after that one we will quickly go through the server side programming and what are the requirements of server side programming, how we can do a server side programming in Java, and a simple application we'll create and we'll test that one. Okay, so first we'll brush up our last functionality. So some display methods like drawing the screen in graphics. Okay, these are methods are in graphics class. Okay, these are the methods of graphics class in which draw string, draw rectangular, fill rectangular, draw oval, fill oval, draw line, and draw image. This kind of functionality was there. And display method also we have discussed in this one how to set the background of a applet, and applet are displayed in a windows, and AWT based applet use the AWT to perform input and output. Okay, we have to work with AWT environment to work with applets. We use graphics class to do the task. Okay, so repainting also we have check out what is the use of repainting. Whenever we do any updates, okay, in applet, it is not going to be done the mismodification in the appearance, so it will be in the buffer, one temporary one memory. So whenever we call a repaint, right, it is going to be happen. We have seen one program of like banner, right, banner. Okay, so you can check out here, it's moving means it's modifying everything. Yes, you can see in this one, this applet. So we are using a repaint to change the movement, to show the movements of a string. Okay, this way the repaint is work. If we comment this repaint, right, then we can easily check out that one. We are doing the modification, we are displacing the image string position, even though it's not working, it just there itself. Because of that reason we want a repaint. That also we have discussed in last topic, repaint and update. Repaint is a method which is going to call a update method of a applet, and update method it's calling the paint method. Okay, paint method will perform the action on the display option on the applet. Window status also we have checked out how we can display the status of window in windows form frames. The same way we can show the status. We can check out here, we can easily show the status. This is the window title of this window, and this is a BNU. This is shown in the status window, welcome to BNU. Okay, so in this one status, and now the remaining part is applet tag. We have already discussed that one. The applet is going to be run along with the HTML, means whenever we request any such a HTML embedded with applet, then along with HTML the applet also is going to be download, and once it is downloaded at the browser, then the browser means the JVM start executing the applet automatically. Then how we can embed the applet to a HTML page? Yeah, this is one tab provided in HTML to embed the applet. Okay, in this one what are the properties, attributes are there in the applet tag, right? With this bracket, they are optional. Okay, you can provide that options means information or not, but which are not with any bracket, right, they are compulsory. Example, code file. okay, width, height, okay, and alignment is optional. Vertical space, horizontal space, these are all, everything is optional. And code base optional, code file, okay, these are the things. So we'll discuss each and everything. These are the attributes of any applet, okay. You can check out, this is a one applet tag. This applet tag containing these attributes, okay. These are the sub tags for a applet method. In this one you can set a parameters, attributes, okay, parameter, okay, which can be passed to the applet, okay. In the parameter you having two compulsorily attribute. One is the name of your parameter, and another is what value you want to pass, okay. These are the two values. And you can check out this attribute also a optional, means it is comes under this bracket, so it also optional. You can pass a attribute, means a extra parameter or not, okay. You can give any number of parameters, okay. This is a opening tag of a applet HTML tag, and the same you will get a closing tag also for that applet class. So we'll quickly check one simple example in which we have used this applet tag. So you can check out here, it always showing everything, okay. So in this one, height we can set out 500 pixel, width 500 pixel, and another one thing is compulsory is code, okay. Not code base, it's a code, okay. Code base is nothing but our applet. Example, my applet dot class we have to give in the code, okay. The base code, it defines the package in where you have kept this applet, okay. And what are the other things? Alternative, if this applet is not available, means something error is there, then what text need to display, okay. Name of this applet, you can give an instant name of a applet. Width, height we already set. Alignment, okay. After that one, whether it is has to be, whenever it is applet is going to be initialized, it has to be left align, center or right align. Vertical space and horizontal space. This is all about a applet tag. And any HTML you can embed a applet tag like this. So whenever we run this one, right, okay, it will this whenever this applet HTML is downloaded, along with the applet also downloaded and executed. Before this one set, right, you have to enable browser for accepting the applet. If you have not enabled, it won't work, okay. This all about a applet tag HTML. We have already gone some information about this one. And the another one thing is applet context and show documents, okay. These are the some features applet will provide, okay. What is the use of applet context and show document? Applet context allow your applet to transfer control to another. Example, if we are running any application, right, we will have lots of transaction. Example, order details will be there, create a order will be there, okay. Track my details will be there. These are the different transactions. So there will be some menus will be there. So if you click that one, so our control transfer will be navigated to a new page, and new page will be going to display. The same functionality we can done in a applet context and show document. Only the thing is in this one, if we are browsing for one directory, means in which directory we are running our applet, the applet request files from the same directory. It won't go for next, or it won't go for its parent. Okay, so the security, because of that security reason, it only going to be called for the same in the applets, the other applets in the same directory or same URL. Okay, before that one base class we will check out. Okay, this is a base code. So using that one, you will get a base code. Okay, you will get a URL in which URL you are working now. Okay, using that one, you can use this URL to call a different images or audio. If you want to play, any video also, you can do it. Okay, so because of that reason, we are going to use this get a base object. Okay, so this is a built-in function of applet. It will give you the base object. Okay, if you convert that into a string, you will get a complete URL. Okay, there are two things. Okay, get base object, it is a overall means higher level path of this applet, and document base is named this document application. We'll check both the things. Okay, you can check out here. Okay, this is, as it is a local file, it is showing in this drive like this. If it is a server, means it might be showing some HTTP, some IPs or something domain names with that one. Okay, workspace, applet, web application, build classes, and like this it is there. Okay, so after that one, you can check out after classes, it is another giving an extra class that is nothing but get document base. So the get object, it will give you the URL, okay, of the current applet. So after using that URL, you can refer to other resources or other assets under that app, under that URL. So we have already cleared that one. The applet can call within that URL itself. It cannot access any asset out of this URL. Okay, this is one thing. So we got that what is the use of get code base and get document base. Okay, so another one thing is this one applet context. Okay, applet context and show document. If you want to transfer the control of your applet running execution instance to another applet, so you have to use this applet context. So once you have created an object of a applet context, you can use a show document. So in this one, you can pass a URL, and the URL should be that same applet URL. Okay, with some different applet name. So once you pass a URL of different applet with the same URL, then a new applet will be shown to the user. Okay, so we'll check out one simple example by accessing just a URLs only. Okay, so that is the use of that one. So we'll check out some quick some theory about this one. Applet context allow your applet to transfer control to another URL. You must use a show document method to define by the applet context interface. Applet context is an interface that let you get information from applet execution environment. Once you have obtained the applet context, you can bring another document into view by calling show document. It's not like only applet only, you can call to different HTML page and that one also. This method has no return value and throws no exception if it is get failed. So and there will be no exception handling if file is not found. Okay, the URL is not correct, even though it won't throw any error, it will just come back from the functionality. That's it. Okay, there are two document method. Document the method with URL, display the document at the specified URL. The again another method, show the show document function URL comma string, display the specified document at the specified location within the browser window. Okay, and there are two things are there, some interfaces like audio clip and applet steps are there. Okay, so audio clip and applet step are the two interfaces which you can use to add a functionality, some extra functionality to your applet. The name itself suggesting that one audio clip is to add a audio clip to your applet. Okay, this all about last session also we have discussed tools from the two session we are discussing the applet. Okay, now we have already finished completely finished the applet. So our next topic is server side programming. Okay, if we come to server side programming, now till now we have worked with console application, and after that one we have checked Windows application. Then we compare the difference between applet application and the server Windows application. Okay, so the console application which doesn't have any user interface, and whatever the input and output we are doing, that is in the from the console itself, or the file system we can use, or network we can use. Okay, so console application, then we have discussed about a Windows application, how the Windows application is differ from the console application. Now we have already gone through the Windows application, the features, some features about Windows application, event handling, and how we can create a interface, what are the frames are there, and what are the different controls are there, and that way we have already seen the Windows application. So then we have came to applet. Okay, applet also similar to the Windows application, only it will be at the server, and whenever we request it is downloaded and it is going to be run at the client side. So now we are going to discuss a server side programming. A Windows application is nothing but you have to get a exe file, you have to install in your local system, so it will be available in your system. Okay, if you are configuring completely database and everything in your system itself, then it is completely local software. Okay, so any other person from other system, any other computer cannot have any access to the software as well as the database. Okay, that is nothing but Windows application. So in contrast to that one, a server side application is nothing but there will be one server, a machine, okay, which having the code for running the application and database also, and after that one, whenever a user requests to the server, it will process the things and it will return some information in the HTML format. Okay, in this one we are working with the internet. Okay, in the HTML format to the client. Okay, so we'll in this one we are going to check out a quick checkout about server side programming, server configuration. If you want to work with server side programming, we should configure a server to our local system. How we can configure, and we'll try to create one dynamic application of a web application. And while we are creating a dynamic application, in this one we are using the servlet as a server side scripting language, JSP also server side scripting language having some interface. Okay, so it's a JSP is nothing but a combination of HTML as well as servlet topic, which we will discuss. Okay, so in this one we start from the server side programming. So you can check out one diagram here. Here HTTP server is there, means the server is connected to internet, and we are also a user client. Okay, also connected to internet. So whenever using the domain name of a server, if a user is request, okay, with HTTP protocol, the server receive the request and it will ask, and it will create instance of a servlet program The servlet program can do functionality, can execute that one. If it required to access database, it will access the database and it will return a response, and again that response is delivered to the client, okay, in a HTML format. Okay, this is a brief idea about a server side programming. So might you have already got a concept, like you need a server, you need to have a server programming, you should know the server programming. Data is optional. If it is a static application, you doesn't require data. If you want to give a fully dynamic fledged of functionality, you require the database. Okay, this way. Now I hope you guys know about these things. Even though we'll discuss a brief about this complete architecture, then from the next session we will take each and every module, like servlet we will take, JSP we will take, and some part about database connectivity also we will take. Okay, so in this one, these are the some points which is used for a server side programming. Okay, all program reside, okay, if you consider, okay, a server, right, all program reside in one machine called server. Okay, any number of remote machine called a clients or users can access the server program. So example a Gmail, okay, it is already created, it is server is there, so any number of user can access the database, okay, can access the Gmail. Okay, new functionalities to existing program can be added at the server side, which the client can take advantage without having to change anything from their side. Okay, so if you change anything at the server side, it will affect to the user. If it is a new functionality, if you are adding to the server, then all the clients will receive a new functionality. Okay, this point means migrating to a new version, architecture design pattern, adding patches, switching to a new database can be done at the server side without having bother about a client hardware or software capability. You can increase anything. Okay, you can increase the capabilities of software or hardware, but it doesn't affect the browser, the client, because it is just a view. The client is going to see the view itself with using some browsers like Chrome, internet, Edge, okay, Firefox, like that, Opera Mini, like that. You just a user is going to use the browser, and whatever the functionality running, it is going to be run at the server side only. So the server is going to be busy at that time, it will give response to the user, so user can view the information. Issues related to enterprise application like resource management, concurrency, session management, security, performance, and managed by server side application. So these are the issues. Okay, what are the issues? Like session management, so security. Okay, if example, if we are developing any application, a web application to a organization, we should give the security, login security, session management, concurrency at a time. Example, if multiple users are using, okay, the same transaction, take a Flipkart, if there are 5 people are there, okay, at the same time, if they are submitting their order, there should not be any mix up of the orders. Okay, A has ordered something else, but he is received something new, something, it should not be like that. So that of concurrency management, resource management, everything, the issues, they are portable and possess the capability to generate a dynamic and user based content. Okay, we know that one. So these are some listed some information about server side programming. We have already seen also one simple architecture where the server is required and client will request to a server, request and server will invoke any servlet, respective servlet programming, and the response of that one again is delivered to the browser. This is the way we are going to work. So first of all, in this one we need to configure the server. In our scenario, our server is Tomcat server. Okay, first for to do this one, just go to Google Classes. Okay, I hope in the Google Classes I have created a one resource called Tomcat source file. Okay, in Java classes I have created in the third unit Tomcat source files. Just download this one, extract this one, and copy that one in the C drive. Okay, in the direct this way you can just copy that one. Okay, once you have copied, open your Eclipse. Okay, open the Eclipse and go to Windows preferences. Okay, in this one you can check out lots of configuration settings are there. You can enlarge this one, so it will be it will be visible to you guys. Okay, in this one we will going for a server setting. In this server setting, just go to runtime environment. After you are seeing there is no server right now, just add that one, and which version of your JDK JRE is there, that version just select, click on it, because now I am running on JRE 9, so I am selecting the Tomcat 9. Okay, if you are using a JRE something 8.5, you should use that one, because many major times, most of times the JRE and Tomcat version has to be matched. And give that path where you have copied. Okay, you have copied, this is your path, right? See Apache, so that part just give in this one. Okay, browse and give that to that one. You can check out, I'm using a JRE 9. Okay, so just click a finish, so you can check out that one your server has been configured in a local system. So after that one, okay, so as we have already shared, I have already shared that server Tomcat server in the Google files are there. Extract that one, copy in the C drive, open the Eclipse and follow the instructions shown in the video. Okay, once configuration till now we'll try to create one a dynamic application. Okay, a dynamic application, how we can create? Go to file, new, you can check out here one dynamic option, dynamic web project option, click that one. Already you have already configured the Tomcat, you already. Okay, BNU web, I will just I will give some identifier. Okay, click next. Okay, src folder already is there, click next, and remember to click this generate web.xml deployment descriptor. Okay, so in this one we are going to finish right now. So you can check out web BNU web application has been created. Okay, so in this one, if you are writing any classes or sublet, it will be an applet, it is going to be at the source folder, and if you are creating a HTML JSP, it will come in the content page. Okay, in this one we are just for time being we are using the HTML. Okay, give some index file, just give index, as it is a first document, give index file. I will tell you what is the use of giving the index file name. Okay, so in this one we got some information also. Okay, you can see in the web content we are adding the our front end pages, that is nothing but HTML and JSP we are going to add, and this one it will contain that web XML file. Okay, in this one you can check out welcome file can be one of this one. Okay, anything from this one. Okay, we have added the HTML index file, right? Here we have added the HTML index file. So in this one, welcome to BNU, Bangalore North University. So now we will try to run our application. We will check. Okay, you can check out, I'm right clicking on the project, not on the file, even though this file will take automatically. Okay, Tomcat, yes, we want Tomcat. Finish. So you can check out here, when we have run this one, we came to welcome to BNU, which is our HTML part. If I change anything, Tamaka Kolar, okay, just I've saved, and I will come back here and I will try to refresh this one. Welcome to BNU Tamaka Kolar, okay. So in this HTML page is a front end, and whatever the information is there, we are working with this one. So in this one we have seen one simple application, okay. I have already created one another application called my site, okay. I'm just going to run that one, okay. Finish, okay, restart it. So you can check out this one. It has a clear definition, applies employees, and it's a register form for employees, okay. And last name, password, some password you can set out, and your mail ID, something you can add easily, okay. This is one template I have downloaded, okay. You can check out here lots of template you can get from the internet, okay, lots of things, okay. Preview is here, so you can check out some CSS I have not imported, because that reason it's not clearly giving that CSS, but I have used this template, okay. You can check out here, this is a HTML file which I have taken already directly, that one, and this one HTML file is there. Now I'm going to copy this complete HTML file, okay, into my file, into that Eclipse, so we can easily check out now how this will work, okay. Just I'm going to add a style, Control All, format, it got formatted. So in this one Eclipse is here, so this is our form, right. I would like to refresh this one, so you can check out it's clearly nicely appearing. So I would like to come to the browser now. I would like to give, you can check out a clear, within a fraction of second we can create a one web application. So you guys also can go to any template provider, okay, which are source free, and you can take that source code and just create at least one simple login application. So because this is one emulator of Eclipse, it doesn't support for most of CSS. So if we see in the Chrome, right, you can check out, it's look very nice as we required, okay. Some password, okay, and mail, you can register a simple thing. So this is one simple dynamic application, even though it's not a fully dynamic application, because until we work with a servlet, a JSP, and some database, we are not going to make a full-fledged of but it is a start of a web application, okay. So in this one now configuring the server, we have seen creating a new application, dynamic application on simple page, we have already seen. Now we are going to check out what are different ways of creating a web application, what is web application, how we can work with this one, and what are different ways and what we will use. A web application, a web application accessible from the web. A web application is composed of web component like servlet, JSP, filters, etc., and other elements such as, these are the servlet, JSP, filters are running at the server side, okay, and other elements such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these are the output of this servlet JSP filter. HTML CSS are the output of servlet, and this HTML and CSS JavaScript is going to run in the client. Okay, the web components typically execute in the web server and response to the HTTP request. Response is nothing but HTML CSS JavaScript. Okay, what are different types of server side programming? ASP active server pages, which is a Microsoft technology. Java servlet is a Java technology. JSP also a Java technology. After okay, enterprise Java beans, this also Java, and PHP. Okay, these are the different types, but nowadays still more functionality are Rails. Okay, these are the server. Ruby and Rails is server programming, and if we work with some APIs, okay, we can do it. Okay, this is one. Now we'll check quickly a simple definition for okay servlet programming. Servlet technology is used to create a web application. Okay, dynamic web application. Servlet can be described in many ways depending on the context. Servlet is a technology which is used to create a web application. Servlet is an API that provides many interfaces and classes, including documentation. Servlet is an interface that must be implemented for creating any servlet. Servlet is a class that extends the capabilities of server and responds to the incoming request. It can respond to any request. Servlet is a web component that is displayed on the server to create a dynamic web application. So guys, today we will end up this session. Okay, so now the remaining concept, we got the information what is server side programming, and we have configured one server also. We have seen how to create a web application. Now from the next session, from tomorrow online class, we will check one by one a clip discussion of servlet as well as JSP. Okay, servlet and JSP has lots of functionality, so we will check one by one. We'll check with servlet how we can provide a servlet, how we can create a servlet, and how it will support for web programming, and what is the use of, apart from the servlet, what is the use of JSP. After that one we supposed to discuss that one. Okay, thank you everyone. If you have any query, you can contact me during this evening. Okay, and tomorrow we'll have a 12 o'clock we'll have a session related to the servlet, and also we'll try to create a lots of programs to check out the servlet functionality. Thank you everyone.